How's it going, guys? Jake here, Dude Ranch DIY. We got the Kubota tractor here with the Grapple. We're going to be taking the Grapple off momentarily to throw on the pallet forks, and we're going to be doing some firewood deliveries here this afternoon. A couple of videos ago, I posted for the first time me trying to load the Sure-Trac dump trailer with the IBC Totes, and I cut out the fronts and I tried dumping it in, and it worked pretty well. I got a ton of feedback from you guys in the comments, so I'm gonna try a couple of the things that some of you had mentioned to me, both with loading the trailer with the IBC Totes and as far as disconnecting the Grapple and the hydraulics to make it easier for when I put it back on in the future. So we're burning daylight, and we're gonna get right to it. Stick with us. Okay, so a lot of people in the comments gave me feedback regarding what to do with the hydraulic system before I disconnect it. And the thing that most people were saying was that I need to turn the key to the on position, so I'm gonna do that. It's in the on position. And then they said toggle the switches for the Grapple back and forth, and to play with it, and toggle them back and forth to equalize out all the pressure. So, I don't know, I hear it kind of like maybe opening and closing the valves. I don't know how much I need to do that, but let's try it. Now I'm gonna pop the first one off. I'll pop the second one off. Okay. Well, they both seem somewhat soft, so let me try, just for the heck of it, let's see if I can get it back on. Well, would you look at that? They went right back on. I wonder if I'd have the same results after using the tractor a while. So we will find that out in a future video. But for right now, I'm gonna take the Grapple off and throw on the pallet forks. We're burning daylight, gotta get this stuff loaded up. Now, if you guys remember last time, I used these straps here to secure the IBC tote to the pallet forks themselves, so that it wouldn't fall off. I'm going to be doing the same thing, but like I said, I'm going to take some of the feedback that you guys provided me. One gentleman said that I don't really need to have two. I could, in theory, just have one strap at the bottom. That way the top can kind of pivot off the forks a little bit, so I'm going to try that. The other thing my father actually suggested was that probably be, instead of getting this first rung right here, it might be a little bit easier if I, went forward a little bit more. So I'm going to try that as well. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so now we got this IBC tote secured to the pallet forks only at the bottom, not at the top, in hopes that it might pivot a little bit forward when dumping. Now, the other piece of advice that a lot of people are saying is why don't you dump over the side? Why don't you dump over the side? Just dump it over the side, then you wouldn't have to push it forward and destroy your pallet totes. Well, for all those that said that, all three of these totes that I cut the whole face out of are damaged totes. I bought them damaged. I paid about $20 or $25 for them months ago. These were like some of the first ones that I bought. They were already damaged on the front or on the bottoms. You know, the center support was ripped out. That's why I got them for so cheap back when I was paying for IBC totes. The second reason I wasn't dumping over the side, well, so that explained why I was pushing forward, because I don't really care so much about these totes. I have a lot more and a new supplier that just gives them to me for free. But in regards to why I wasn't dumping over the side, this thing's pretty heavy. I think Mike Morgan did a test where one of them weighed about 1,600 pounds. That's about the maximum lift capacity that this tractor has. That might be the breakout force. I don't know that it can actually lift it up that high. You guys have, you know, been following the channel for a while. You've seen the size of the sides that I have on there. They're about 22-inch red oak slabs that I milled a while back from a tree I took down. I have them up there because when I haul wood from my jobs and stuff, I use this trailer and I like to pile it up as high as I can. That's the primary use of this trailer, not delivering firewood. And the other reason is that lifting up that much weight so high, even if the tractor could do it, which I don't think it can, it would be a little uneasy. I don't know if the camera shows it well, but this whole little area here is a hill. The wood yard over to my left is pretty flat, but this area out here where I'm loading is kind of uneven. There's rocks, there's roots. So I don't think lifting up that much weight that high is all that great of an idea. However, one viewer did suggest, why don't I dump out half of it in the back and then drive around to the side, one, see if the tractor will be able to lift it up that high once half of the weight is out, and then two, if it does, just dump it in the front and then kind of do half a dump, you know, from each side for the three totes to equal accord. So I'm gonna try that and see how it does. I'm gonna start out by dumping half the tote just in the back of the trailer through the open doors, and then we'll drive around to the side and see how it does lifting it up. You know, that's gotta be about 6 feet. I think the sides, when I stand next to them, are about as tall as my head, and I'm 6 foot. So let's give it a try. Okay, as I think you guys could see from that last shot, that worked pretty well. I dumped half just in the back here and kind of pushed it forward just a little bit, but the loader arm reaches pretty far over the back deck of the trailer to get it in, you know, enough where none's gonna fall out the back. And then I drove around the side, and with the reduced weight in the tote, it worked really well, and I was able to lift it right up and dump it over the side. So I'm going to unstrap this first tote, strap up the second tote, and we're gonna try it again. guys, so that's 2 IBC totes in the trailer, 2/3 of a cord. That second one I figured out was a little bit tougher just because there was wood, you know, stacked up in the front, so it all didn't want to fall out as easy as the first tote did. But the whole method of driving up to the back, dumping half out, and then going around to the side, you know, to alleviate some of that weight to be able to pick it up, you know, definitely works. I forget who exactly suggested that, but if you're watching, thanks so much. Make sure you leave a comment below. I'd like to thank you again personally for that, you know, insight and feedback. Somebody else mentioned, I think in the comments, why am I revving the tractor so high? It's simply because the tote is so heavy with all that firewood in it. At just an idle or a lower RPM, it won't lift it. I need to give almost the full throttle to be able to pick up the weight of that tote. The first one picked up relatively easy. I was around like the 540 PTO speed, which is around like, I don't know, 2200 RPM, I think. But that second tote was considerably heavier. I don't know why. It was all from the same tree. Maybe I just packed it a little tighter, but it barely lifted it up to the deck height of the trailer, which is about 32 inches. So they're definitely heavy. As you know, you guys could probably see, this tractor isn't a full-size tractor. It's a compact 39 horsepower Kubota tractor, and I think it's like maximum lift capacity or breakout force is about 1,600 pounds, which is roughly what these totes weigh. So I'm really pushing the Kubota to its, you know, limits, so to speak here, and I don't want to do anything that would, you know, potentially harm the tractor, the trailer, or, you know, myself. So we're just taking it nice and slow and trying to figure it out. And at the end of the day, if I have to unload some by hand, or in this case, load some by hand, I'm totally fine with that. I'm gonna go grab the third tote and we'll see how we want to get it in, whether it's all from the back or if I'm gonna try and do partly from the side. So stick with me. All right, guys, as you just saw, that third tote was by far the heaviest. The tractor could barely pick it up. And then I tilted it up all the way to finally get that front lip of the IBC tote over the back of the trailer. And then I could, you know, kind of rest it down. The trailer could take some of the weight off of the front end loader. But we only got 4 or 5 pieces on the ground. The whole trailer is loaded with a cord, and I didn't have to really throw a single piece except for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's pretty good in my book. Is it going to do damage to the totes in the long term? Yeah, I mean, probably. Is this a method that I'm going to use continuously? No, probably not. That's why I bought the Conveyor. I've kind of been stuck at a crossroads here without having the Conveyor, but having this wood that's ready to burn and it's already sold, you know, pretty much before I even split it. Like, now is the time when I need the conveyor the most, just because, you know, after all the modifications are done, I can put it up to the end of the RuggedMade splitter and just split, and it'll go right into the trailer, and then there's the cord and a half, you know, whatever. So this method I'm just kind of using for the interim. I thought, you know, if the tractor could handle it, if the IBC Totes could handle it, if I was able to do it, then it might be something that I'd consider doing to all of my totes, you know, moving forward. I think I spoke too soon in that first video, because clearly ash, you know, gets pretty dry. It's pretty light in the grand scheme of things, talking about hardwoods. If I had a whole tote of red oak, I don't care how dry it was, I don't think this tractor would be able to pick it up. So I'm limited by a couple things here, you know, where I am, the totes, the strength of the tractor. The other big thing is that this tractor doesn't have the reach, you know, that some other tractors have. They have, you know, bigger tractors can lift stuff up higher. Mike Morgan, I need that MX 5400 over here at the Dude Ranch. So when you get tired of it, or if you're using the BX to dig your conduit, you know, channels and stuff for the new hobby barn, send the MX 5400 over here. I could definitely use it to load up my trailer. But I think the lift is a big factor, because as I think you could see, I'll have to rewatch the footage, but I think you'll be able to see that the tote, you know, when it comes down, that's almost 4 feet of lift that I'm losing, because you know, the tote's, I think, 42 inches deep, or 40 inches deep, so something like that. So I'm losing all of that lift, you know, when I go like this. If I could just like vibrate it out from all the way up, then that would be a different story, but I can't. So definite things to consider moving forward. I'm glad I got this loaded. This customer actually ordered a 1.5 cords, so this wood behind me, I'm gonna have to hand load into the trailer. But it's getting pretty dark, so I think I'm gonna wrap up this video. So as always, if you guys like this stuff, hit that subscribe button. We broke 800 subscribers, I think, today, so that's fantastic. Couple more videos. We should be, you know, edging pretty close to that 1,000 mark, so please help me make that goal happen. Just hit that subscribe button, hit the like buttons, share with your friends, and as always, leave more feedback in the comment section below, especially on this, because you guys out there, I'm sure, have been doing this kind of stuff a lot longer than me. But like I said, that's it. I'm rambling on. I'm Jake. This is Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.